Friends, the government is proposing major changes to the affidavit of support. If you're interested in hearing what those changes are, watch this video. I'm also going to give you my 4 tips on how to deal with this issue. Stay tuned. Guys, thanks so much for watching this video. If you're new to me, welcome to my channel. I'm Latoya McBean Pompey, an immigration lawyer in New York. And I just want to give a shout out to 2 of my followers on Instagram. They've been so awesome. If you're interested in being featured in any of my upcoming videos, just take a screenshot of this video right now, post it in your Instagram story, and be sure to tag me at McBean Immigration Law, and you may be featured in my upcoming video. Now let's get into it. On October 1st, USCIS sent everyone an email with their press release announcing that they're going to introduce a rule that would make major changes to the affidavit of support. Now, this is only a proposal at this point. It is not in effect yet. And in fact, I'm not sure when it's going to be in effect because it looks like there's going to be a 30-day comment period. And then there's another period in which they're considering the comments that the public has given them. And then eventually they'll publish the final rule. I'll keep you guys posted on that timeline as things progress. But for now, just know that this is just a proposal that they shared with us on October 1st. Now, what are they proposing to do? The first thing is that they'd like the sponsor to submit a credit report and a credit score. The second thing that they're proposing is that the sponsor submit certified copies of the last 3 years of their tax returns. The third thing that the government wants to do is that sponsors submit bank account information. Yes, bank account information. Certainly you may have heard me talk about some of these changes in the past, and I'm going to link to that video here. The fourth thing that the government is proposing is that if the sponsor had received any means tested benefits, right, public benefits within the last 36 months of filing the I-864 affidavit of support, that will be a problem. That will be a problem. Or if the person had defaulted on any previous obligations that they have under other affidavit of support, that would also be a problem. So if the sponsor has any of those issues, you're going to need a joint sponsor who has not accessed public benefits, those means tested benefits within the past 36 months, and also your joint sponsor must not have defaulted on any other obligation that it has on the record. The fifth thing that the government wants to do is they want to be able to have some sort of streamlined process to file civil actions against sponsors. And then lastly, the sixth thing that they're proposing to do is they want to limit the type and number of household members who can file the I-864A, which is the contract between the sponsor and household members. So those are the 6 major things that they're proposing under this rule. Now, how should you deal with this, right? If you're going through the immigration process, what are the things that you can do to handle this news? I don't want to just give you bad news without tips on how to deal with it. The first thing that you can do to deal with this situation is screen your sponsors very carefully. Now, if you're a petitioner, you must submit an affidavit of support. There's no getting around that. The petitioner must be a sponsor as well. And if the petitioner's income and assets are not enough to carry the file, to carry the case all the way through, then a joint sponsor is required. But screen them very, very carefully. I did a video on 10 things that you need to look for when you're selecting a joint sponsor. You're going to really need to make sure the individual has the right income, the right background, that they have not accessed certain public benefits in the past. You want to make sure that their household size is not too large, and they must be willing to provide their bank account information to the government, because that's the direction that this rule is taking us. The second thing that you can do, friends, is prepare your file right away before this rule goes into effect. And I know you've heard me say that in the past with respect to other policies and other changes that the government has introduced over the last like 3 years, 4 years. This is one of them, guys. If you think that it's going to be a problem for your sponsor to meet the new requirements that the government has proposed here, you're going to want to try to get your case completed and submitted as soon as possible so that your sponsor would not have to go through that process. Now, the third thing that you can do is have more than one sponsor lined up. The worst thing that can happen, well, not really the worst thing, but what you don't want to have happen, guys, is you start your case and then only to discover that your sponsor actually had accessed certain benefits within the last 36 months, or they refuse to now give their bank account information, and it's like, oh my God, now I'm stuck. No. From the very beginning, line it up. Have a backup person in mind who can really meet these obligations. The fourth tip, friends, is that if you have a joint sponsor in your file, I want you to know that for public charge purposes, it can be a weakness. Here's what I mean by that. It means that your sponsor is not able to take care of you, and your sponsor is a household member, right? And now you're dependent on a joint sponsor to come in and say, hey, I have your back. I will be able to support you over the next 10 years, right? That doesn't really look so great for public charge, because remember, again, public charge is sizing you up as the applicant, and public charge is answering the question of whether you're likely to become a public charge down the road, right? And you want to make a strong case that, no, I'm not likely to be a public charge in the future. So if you do have a joint sponsor, friends, my tip is that you bolster, you boost, you emphasize your positive factors. Because having a joint sponsor, in my opinion, guys, can make your file appear a little weaker on the public charge side of things. So focus on boosting evidence related to your education, your skills, your health, those other factors that are positive about your file. You have private health insurance, right? And some other positive factors. If you're interested in learning more about public charge, I'm gonna link to my playlist on public charge, because I have a lot of videos, over 20 videos out there on public charge. So guys, I hope you found this video helpful to you. In summary, the government has proposed major changes to the affidavit of support process. However, I've given you 4 tips that can help you get around, deal with, handle this issue. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, and then guys, share this video with other people. Comment below, let me know your thoughts, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.